Today we are sitting with Mrs. Shalini Nambiar. She is Vice President and Principal of GEMS International School, Gurgaon. And today we'd like to understand from her the experience she has got being a principal and as a teacher. So let's welcome her.
Hi.
Welcome, ma'am. So we wanted to understand from you your experience. So let's start from your childhood. How has been your childhood being a teacher and coming up to learn different subjects basically? How has been your childhood?
So you're asking my childhood in a school, right?
Yeah.
So well, it is. I studied in Dehradun, and it was a very, very good experience. And of course, it taught me a lot because when I became a teacher, I definitely didn't want to do what I went through. Okay. So quite a few things, but there were education then and now. There's a huge gap. So I really don't know what we are talking about. We keep thinking of changes, but we never had the problem of heavy bags because each subject had one book. Okay. We never had these weird problems which are emerging now. Safety was hardly a concern at that time, so we were pretty safe at our school, in fact. So I think my childhood has been fantastic because it gave me a base, and I've had so I generally feel that you have like three kinds of human beings. One is who you remember, who are like the best, then you have the average kind of people, and then you have the worst kind of if you see the faculty. Okay. So generally you remember the best and the worst. The average you forget as time goes by. So of course I have some fantastic moments with some fantastic teachers and some worst moments with some worst teachers, and that's been my childhood.
So how good were you in studies? Were you among the cream?
I was average. Okay. I wouldn't say I was brilliant. I mean, I had dreams. I was a born writer. I thought I was a born singer. I was basically a very task person. I was very shy in school. You wouldn't believe it. I never was given an opportunity to hold a mic, but in my home I would stand in front of the dressing table and pretend I'm singing, pretend I'm speaking to a huge gathering. So it was a dream for me, but because no teacher believed that I could do it. And I think so I was an average kid, leading an average life, belonging in
so your school education didn't allow you this extracurricular activities or your talents to bring out?
I think if I may tell you, I think there are certain talents which are inborn. Okay. So which sometimes emerge at different age of your life, and there are different kind of people who lead you to unleash that talent from within you. Okay. It's not that the school didn't help. The school had opportunities. Okay. If I am shy, I am not speaking, then why will a teacher look at me? Okay. Right? But I think when you were asking me, I just want to complete that. The whole desire to excel came in 11th. And there was a goal. The goal was to get into Lady Shri Ram College, the best college of Delhi. Okay. So you have to have a goal in life, and you wouldn't believe I really studied hard. I mean, I scored 99%. I still remember my dad was like, I myself was shocked, but I was very happy. It was not so much of an achievement of marks. It was more of, wow, now I'm going to the best college.
So, during your school days, we all had, some good teachers and some bad teachers, as you mentioned. So, was there any specific school teacher which you really liked the most?
I loved my English teacher. Okay. Because she would really, when she will be teaching us, I remember all the poems we learned, Daffodils, Ode to the Nightingale. And when she will be talking about daffodils, it was exactly as if you're sitting in a garden. Okay. In fact, when I was heading my previous organization as a director, she came all the way from Missouri to actually see that Shalini Nambiar, you've really achieved something. I don't believe it. So it was a moment, and I really, really adored her, because she was the kind of a teacher who would make you stay back if your work was not done. And I think all the finesse which you can see in the communication skills. Maybe at that time I was a shy kid due to a lot of sorry, just switch that off. That's the weather, Okay. The blood pressure has to be maintained in the principal's office. So she was a kind of teacher who really, education is such that a lot of things you will learn unknowingly. You don't realize they are there. You are absorbing them. But maybe you're not able to show them at that time, but at some stage of your life, it comes out. Like they say, all your attitude and behavior are formed between 0 to 10. Okay. So the teacher, KG teacher, has the maximum influence on your personality. We don't realize it.
And you met this teacher in which class of yours?
I think she was my English teacher for quite some time. Senior classes, 9 to 12, and Mrs. Jain, I remember, she would call me to her home if my homework was not done. Because that time teachers had that thing. See, they were not looking at, okay, I'm busy, the life was very different.
In Dehradun,
you're not worked, okay, you come home, you sit down, parents were relaxed. I mean, I don't remember my mother ever going to my school and saying, oh, you did this to my child, or you did that. Like, it was like parents gave quality education at home, school gave academic education at school. Now the roles are intermingled. So, nobody knows.
This just gave me a realization how different is the school life in maybe a Dehradun like a city, or in maybe a Gurgaon or Delhi NCR kind of a
I think that time all over the India the education must be same. If you have to compare that time and now. So why there are differences? See, one major difference is that earlier books were less, bags were less, safety was more. People got into the profession because they really wanted to be a teacher. Now it is not. It's become commercial. I mean, come on, you know, we know it, because every second, where have you heard earlier schools advertising?
Exactly. See,
you know, it's, I mean, like now today the hospitals are advertising. You come to us for a treatment. My God, in earlier times, you needed to study. You would go to a teacher and ask her.
This brings me to another point. As you mentioned that schools are advertising a lot of, you know, their infrastructure, their facilities. Should not schools be advertising their teachers? Like, teachers should be the brand ambassador. As it comes to IIT, if you were to see, IIT professor is a brand in itself. Should teachers not be a brand of the schools?
I think teachers, and then what do you teach? I mean, I teach hard work, I teach dedication, I teach communication skills, I teach them how to be emotionally balanced. Math, English, Hindi, every school teaches. See, I'll tell you a little thing which I really want to speak because it's very close to my heart. And I think it did go viral because everybody was celebrating 90% and above when the board results came out. You saw all these, you know, pictures in every school, 96, 97. We also did it. You know, naturally there is a certain strata of society who want to see, okay, what is your result? But I also wrote a post where I said for children who have got between 40 to 70, and I said, listen, if you look around, the world is full of 40 to 70 percenters. And I want to celebrate each of you because you have achieved something. It's not about marks. You don't even know whether I failed, right? I'm not carrying my trophies with me or degrees with me. But what I'm carrying is my confidence, my skills. These are more important.
And failure teaches you more. It
teaches you more. So I think as a school, when you advertise, this is what you have to focus on, your vision. What exactly am I going to give to your kid? I don't tell a child if he's got 30% that I will not take you. No, why?
No,
I will.
To be fair and be honest, you know, this looks very great when we listen and in ideal situations, but how much practical is it? How many
I'm doing it. I'm very confident.
Sure, gems must be on this.
See, my thing is that you don't go to a doctor and say I'm dying, and doctor will say I'll test you. If you're dying, you die. If you're good, then I'll take you if I can treat you. Come on. And that is also happening in the medical profession. I apologize if I'm saying something wrong. But in the school, we are educationists. My thing is, you give me any child. I found one remark on Google written that this school admits anybody. I wanted to reply, yes, we do. You give me any student, I'll show you that that kid will change in a year, and I'm very confident of myself and my team. Because we'll work on the kids.
You have to take the onus to work upon the students. Then only you will be able to deliver the result, and then how it matters. Now, coming to your board exam preparation, boards are a very huge thing in our country. So how was your experience in those days preparing for boards?
My experience? I went crazy. I was studying day and night because, and I still remember, my sister is no more. I would have a fight with her every day before going for my exam because my only thing at that time was, our aims were different. My aim was not to prove myself to my parents like it is now. Children are studying because the parents are more tense than the kid. My parents were very relaxed. Acha, theek hai, exam hai, pass to ho hi jaoge. I mean, tum itne to dumb nahi ho. Right? They didn't have any desire. They only wanted you to be a good human being, do well in life. That's it. Right? Abhi, nahi, I want my kid to be this. So there's a lot of difference. So I was tense because I was thinking if I don't get 99, I won't get admission in LSR. That was my goal. Of course, it is tension. I mean, board exams in any case, it's such a fear. But I think it prepares you once you become, at this age you feel every day is a board exam in life.
Yeah, that is. So did you always wanted to become a teacher, or does it happen by
Not
chance?
at all.
So how did teaching
How did teaching happen? When I had my own daughter, and I think when you start working with your own kids, you realize that you want education should be like this, school should be like this, principal should be like this, and then you start having a change. And I remember there was this air-conditioned school opening just opposite my school, first air-conditioned school of India, and I went and applied there, and that's how I got into teaching. But then when I got into teaching, and I just started, it was like a, quicksand. I didn't realize this is what I should have been in my life.
Okay. So, again coming back to boards only, I wanted to understand from a principal's point of view how important the board examination is in terms of career. Long-term career, if you were to look post 12th or post graduation, how much does board play an important part?
See, we are caught in a vicious circle. I think a lot of educationists today, I go for a lot of conferences are coming out where we are not giving so much importance to the board result. The importance is more on the skills, but the problem in India is when you go to a college you need marks. When you go abroad you need percentage, right? So things have not changed at the top level. So at schools we are in a confusion. So if you look at me as a head, yes, board results are important. They help you decide, okay, if academics is your forte, then might as well do better in that. But if singing is your forte, then you better do in that. So it is, as a principal, you need to be aware of your children's strengths and weaknesses and let them work on that. Like last year we had 4 kids. I mean, they themselves were shocked at their own results. I knew they will not get 90% and above, but they did very well. What they were, where they came from, and how they performed, for me, that is a growth, right? And in any case, also we should remember one thing: the world is changing, right? You are sitting in front of me. You belong to today's youth, right? I think most of you, that we are not even aware at the moment of the kind of jobs which will be there.
Sure.
So what are we trying to prepare? Blogging was not a job, right?
No.
A blogger makes more money than a school head.
Exactly.
So you tell me that. So
blogger, digital marketing, a lot of things are coming up.
You tell me. I mean, I didn't know that there is a lady I met the other day in a conference. All she does is reviews the blogs. She makes, in 5-figure salary.
Yes.
So the kind of job which I'm able, so it's at the moment, if this is my forte, it helps if you want to do the regular college. But I think things are changing and it will take some time. But I think we have to break it somewhere. We are just, each one is following the same path, क्योंकि कुछ होएगा नहीं. कहीं ना कहीं तो break करके you have to take a risk.
Thanks for watching the first part of the interview. I hope you liked it. Second part of the interview is exclusively present in our Android app. To download the app, click here, or you can search Exedify on Google.